keys and get in gear with a car loan from ACB. Drive away with a loan that fits you. Get up to 100% financing and 10 years to repay on a new or used car. Plus, get a pre-approved credit card. So rev up and get in gear with the Simply Smarter car loan. Call or visit us or go to acbonline.com for more.
ACB Caribbean, simply smarter banking.
Jingle your keys and get in gear with a car loan from ACB. Drive away with a loan that fits you. Get up to 100% financing and 10 years to repay on a new or used car. Plus, get a pre-approved credit card. So rev up and get in gear with the Simply Smarter car loan. Call or visit us or go to acbonline.com for more.
ACB Caribbean, simply smarter banking.
Jingle your keys and get in gear with a car loan from ACB. Drive away with a loan that fits you. Get up to 100% financing and 10 years.
Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Talking Sports. I'm your host, Leroy JB John Baptist, and my missing partner is back today, Colin Francis, aka Colin. Good evening, Colin. Welcome back.
Good evening, JB, and it's good to be back. But I didn't really go anywhere, you know.
Well, I heard there was a sighting of you in the ground.
Is it?
I asked for the photo, so I'm waiting on the photo, and then we're going to put it live on our screen.
Bring the evidence. Bring the evidence. But yes. Welcome everybody to another edition of Talking Sports. Good to be back here. JB, what we have today on the plate?
A little somber moment, but you know, it's a celebration. We're going to look at, you know, today was the homegoing for Henderson Bass, a real stalwart in Antigua, whether you talk about, you know, business, sports, whatever it is, culture.
Culture generally,
really
definitely.
Contributed quite significantly to the development and landscape of Antigua. And so sometimes these type of persons, because, you know, they may be not a minister, an ambassador, they get overlooked.
True.
But
True.
the lives that, you know, a man like Hendy Bass would have touched is just unparalleled.
And every time you hear him call into a talk show, it's always words of wisdom, sage, good advice, and his opinions are always just, you know, spot on. So he will be missed, definitely.
Most definitely, and unfortunately, I didn't really get a chance to go. I was supposed to, but it looked like it was a real good turnout. And, you know, we just have to, again, just extend our condolences to the family and to the entire nation. We have really lost a solid son, a rock piece of our
solid son of the soil.
foundation.
Indeed. And we also, today we are going to be remembering Passion James.
Yeah, boy, Passion. That name, I don't know. But we have two gentlemen in studio. We're going to bring them in now. We're going to speak a little cricket first, too, because, you know, we still have the CPL going on. Sri Lanka, if you want to say, did a little upset of England. Also there, we look at those. Football is playing right now, the Nations Cup, right at the stadium where Antigua is taking on Bermuda. We'll try and get a live update for our viewers also. And so we're going to look at quite a few sports. Colin, while you weren't here last week, I had a nice little talk with folks from the Worry and the Draft Association.
Okay. To sit down sports.
Yeah, to sit down sports, to mind sports.
Mind sports.
But what came out of that discussion, Colin, was you know, as I said to you some time back, I heard the director of sports saying director of education, sorry, they were looking to extend the school hours a bit. And albeit they're not looking to extend the teaching hours in terms of education, but extracurricular activities. And just in dialoguing with these two guys from the different association, you realize, you know, these are things that we can get into our schools because it teaches discipline, it teaches concentration, you know, and these are the sort of stuff that are lacking with our youngsters, why we see them, you know, straying so far away.
True, and they say worry. If they're good at worry, for example, that would help them with their maths. And maths, every year we hear the same cry, maths, poor results in maths, poor results in maths, but we don't seem to be doing anything about it. So if you can get worry, a sport like worry, into the schools, get the children thinking, counting, calculating, that will definitely improve their math skills.
Most definitely. Well, we're not going to keep them any longer. We're going to introduce our two guests who are here. They're mainly here to speak about, you know, their experiences with Passion James, but
and their experiences in cricket.
in cricket.
Too.
But we're going to lean on them because we're going to get into the CPL shortly. But before we go any further, no stranger to the Antigua Parish League Network, Mike. Let's welcome Coach Abdel Hughes. Coach, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Talking Sports.
Good evening. Good to be in the house once again, and good evening to those who listen by the World Wide Web.
All right, and we have right next to Abdel Hughes, we have Everton Mead. Everton Mead, welcome to Talking Sports.
Good evening to the listening and viewing audience. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, gentlemen, I just want to get into, you guys are cricket fans, ardent cricket supporters. CPL. Colin, I'm going to start with our Antigua and Barbuda Falcons. We lost 4 on the trot.
Yes.
And we have now won 2 on the trot. But that game against Trinidad in Antigua there, you know, that was a big, big game. If you want to say, I would probably say the upset of the tournament so far.
Upset? Which game? Which game against Trinidad? The one in...
Right here in Antigua.
In Antigua?
When the Falcons beat. When you went
yes,
to watch the game, you leave me alone here.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes.
Okay, right. Well, upset, I don't know. In this T20 format of the game, anything can happen. And yes, Trinidad, they have been playing well over the years, and they have the big names in their squad. But anything can happen in a T20 game. And if you look back at the first 2 games that the Falcons lost, in the last over, on the last ball, those games could have gone either way, anyway. And a drop catch here, a misfield there, could swing a game. So upset, it can be counted as an upset, yes, beating Trinidad. But I think we can expect more of those upsets as we go into further down into the tournament.
Coach Hughes, have you been following the CPL, the Falcons? What's your take so far on their season, if you have been following it?
Unfortunately, no. I was really busy. I didn't follow. But ironically, though, I was telling my brother, even the 2 losses that they had, it wasn't a shame. Because yes, you lost on the last 2 ball on the last wicket, and then I hear Saviv was saying the same speech. All is a loss. When you look at the first 2 games, you could have won them. Yeah. And the second 2, yes, they get blown out, and he gave that speech and motivated them. But I agree with Frank Guy that upset in T20. Neither here or there, because they can just take off somebody's clothes on the night.
On the night, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, my statement of upset was based on the premise we have lost 4 in a row. Obviously down in the doldrums. Trinidad is the
traditional powerhouse, yes.
Lineup there. Everton, how you saw it? I don't know if you have followed any of the games so far in Antigua.
Well, if I say this to you, you probably wouldn't believe. The reason I'm in Antigua is because of the CPL. You know, I resided now in the Virgin Islands. And I'm here to watch some cricket, so I definitely has been attended. I was kind of disappointed in the first 2 games as to how we lost, but yes, certainly I'm happy that we won the last 2.
Yeah, well, obviously most of us were very disappointed. Those first 2 games were heartbreaking. We had a great opportunity of winning both. We just didn't do that. Coach Hughes, let me just ask you quickly. as a team, you know, losing your first 4 games, how do you rally that team, you know, to really come back and put in that inspired performance as they did against Trinidad?
To really look at the positive, you know, really sinking into the fact that we could have won the first 2. It was right there to be won. Well, unfortunately, we didn't. So put these other 2
behind you,
behind you, and go forward and play the cricket that you know, and they did.
Okay. And you know, to get back to with the second match, I think we dropped a drop catch by Hayden Walsh. That was it player?
The guy.
Not Rutherford. The name fails me now. And he went on there to
make a quick 31 or
a
something
quick
like
30,
that.
yes.
Right,
But so he just takes one little lapse, one little misfield. But the captaincy, a lot of people are looking at the captaincy. Everton, were you observing the captain, Mr. Green, and his control and his field placements or whatever?
Well, certainly, I was. Well, in all my time of playing cricket, as being the captain.
Okay.
So, I was kind of disappointed with his field placement and some of his strategy. And even as a spectator watching at one time, I was kind of confused as to who was the captain. 'Cause Billings was doing more.
Yeah, I observed that too. Billings was doing
doing more than him. You know, but that particular game against the second game, when we had was to defend 16 runs
in the last over.
In the last over, what had happened that I didn't like, I could not understand this tragedy going into the last over as to what they wanted the bowler to do, whether to bowl on the half stump, or bowl on the leg stump, or bowl all over. More than likely, in the last over, you'd have a plan and say, well, let's bowl to the half stump or something. The first 2 balls went down the leg side for 4 runs.
Yes.
And we didn't have a fine leg at no time. We never plugged that gap. And then he bowled on the half stump and get hit over cover for the last ball for 6 when they needed 4. So I was kind of confused as to this tragedy. But also I was disappointed to know the individual that was bowling at that time, how he bowled that over.
It was a Pakistani.
Pakistani international.
Yes.
So I was kind of disappointed. I mean, anybody can get hit, but to sit there and watch the display, the strategy, the method, I was kind of disappointed at this.
So when you say no fine leg, not even short fine leg?
No.
Well, you know, they say you can't set field for bad bowling, you know. So maybe the plan was stick on the offside, have your third man, or short third man, whatever, to save that edge or what guided shot. But the bowler bowled the ball on the leg side.
But then, not disputing what you're saying, but after the first one, I didn't see the captain go up to him and said, okay, well, this is what we plan, think about it. Because if you remember, in the last game that we won against Trinidad here, they consulted and they went up to Primus. And Primus bowled the first ball. And the West Indies spin bowler, what's his name, from Trinidad? Hussein.
Yeah, Hussein.
Put him to middle for 4. And Primus was irritated. He was jumping around like he was saying, listen, I told you I wanted a man down there.
Okay.
And right away they put a man down there.
Okay.
So I'm saying to say that after the first 4 had went down to fine leg, there was nothing to show that wasn't the plan. You didn't do what I asked you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But hey, these things happen because it did happen, and we lost.
Okay. So
Yeah, but you know, as you said, I myself sometimes, and then as spectators, I guess that's what we do the most. We question a lot of the decisions taken on the field of play. When you're there, you know, it's sometimes a different ball game. But some of the tactics I've seen employed by the captain itself is questionable. Even the selection of the team and the usage of the players, sometimes I'm a bit baffled. You know, we pick a bunch of guys. Even if I think the last game that we played, albeit and maybe the pitch condition changed the complex of the game. But I think Shamar Springer, I don't remember if he bowled over in that game. I mean, we could have played a batsman instead if that was the plan.
He didn't bowl in which game? In the last game,
he
yeah.
didn't bowl a delivery.
Okay.
We've had games where Primus, he hasn't bowled, he hasn't batted.
But the game that Hayden played, he didn't bowl either.
No, Hayden did bowl, yeah. He bowled I think 1 over or 2
Not
over.
against Trinidad.
He didn't play against Trinidad, he played
No,
against
So,
Barbados,
He
I think.
did play, so he was feeling for against Trinidad.
He was feeling, from my understanding, he went onto the field for the opening batsman there, Zaman first, and then eventually I think it was Amar.
Okay.
But I think the Falcons have a lot of work to do in terms of the composition of their team. I think they need more production at the top. I'm a little bit concerned about our very own Kofi James. I think he's gotten a few starts and has not.
That's been the disappointing thing about Kofi James. But I wonder if he knows, or if the coaching staff have clearly defined what his role is in the team.
But before you came, I was telling Mr. Francis, I share the same sentiment as you as to the usage of some of the players, because of our young player, the under 19 player,
Andrew?
Joel Andrew. I am of the feeling that if he's not batting in the first 4, he shouldn't bat. Why send Joel in after 15 and so overs bowl? To do what? What you expect from him?
Everton, not to cut you there, but I remember one of the games we had a good start, 70-something in the power play. And that was the ample time to send Joel in. It would have given him enough time, play himself in by the time his confidence would have oozed, and then he can pierce the gap here and there. I don't know how you see it, Coach Hughes. You've worked, I think, with Joel before.
No, I haven't.
No? Okay.
But I'm with Everton, whereas you can't have the young guy playing in that type of cricket back in the back end. You have him up there where the power plays on. He can get his groove going and then go into, exploiting wherever it is. But then to put him into a situation like that, to play that type of role, I mean, the coaches or the captain have to come into question with that,
Now, there have been some questionable selection, but hey, they're in it. They know what it feels like. We can only suppose and guess. Shafrin Rutherford leaving the CPL. Quite a lot of speculation, discipline.
Personal, is it?
That's the reason.
Personal
given,
reasons,
personal,
that's what they said. But
same thing happened last year with Kevin Sinclair from
Okay.
Guyana.
Yes.
But there's a lot of speculation. Some say it's some
Outbursts,
dissent with the
yeah.
captain and stuff like that. So let's see. But the St. Lucia Kings, they are preparing to come up against the Trinidad and Tobago Knight Riders. So that promises to be a very good game. Trinidad licking their wounds from our beat in there. Let me say good evening to my good friend down there in Trinidad. Arlene, take that one. That one is from 10 years ago when y'all beat Hawksville like a road march, right? Yeah, that's not for you. Any picks on that one? Everton, St. Lucia, Trinidad.
Well, I hope for the viewing audience that they see a good game. I know Trinidad will be coming out. I would hope that St. Lucia have a better game than the last game they played too. And I would just like the better team tonight win. You don't really back. I back the Hawksville and the Falcons, and I will stick with the Falcons. So.
Abdi?
The same thing. Who wins. The Falcons just need to play their role. Whoever comes before them, win their game, and then they get into the semis, hopefully, and then you want hopefully win the competition. It's young. It's young competition we are right now.
Colin, where's your money on?
My money is not on anybody. I'm not really a fan of this T20 cricket, to be honest. And for the sake of the young Joel Andrew, I want him to get out of this and get into playing the longer version of the game, because that is where he's going to develop. Playing a long version, building innings, not this fly bam bam cricket. I'm not really a fan of that cricket, but it's good it's good entertainment, and it all goes for their development. But I just want to see good cricket.
Coach, one of the talking we had here was we were saying, yes, Joel Andrew is looking pretty good, but we would prefer to see him. A lot of people are calling for him to transcend immediately to the West Indies team. But we were saying, you know, it probably be better for him, yes, going to the West Indies team, but just only for test matches at the moment, so he can learn his craft, he can really develop his cricketing skills than going into that slugfest. And then, you know, what is your take on that position?
Excuse me. Yeah, that could be a good thing, but I'll take our memories back to when Brian Lara started playing with the West Indies. As good as he was, he didn't get into the team right away. He was carrying the water, he was learning the art as he go along with the survivor, stuff like that. So if Joel could go there and learn, because they're learning on the bench, you know. He's not just going to play the game, learning while you're on the bench, and then gradually roll into it. I'll prefer to see that than to throw him there. Not that if given the opportunity, he's to back down, but I would like to say he go through a process.
Well, Coach, let me just throw this in quickly as we wrap up this segment. In Brian Lara time, you had to work to get into the team.
That might be so.
No, this time, anybody can probably get into the team.
I agree.
No, Frank?
No, I don't quite agree with that statement. But
No, I agree what you're saying, that this team was much better then.
yes,
But there's a process in life. When you take that step, when you get there now, you're basically like setting the foundation. So when you set that foundation, you get there now, you have a foundation laid. So just throw him there. Again, if he's playing, if you get the opportunity, I'm not saying to him to say I'm not playing, but I'll prefer to see him go through a process, learn that from the bench, then you get there.
I agree with you totally, and I don't think, based on his present performances, he can't just walk into the team now. I don't think he deserves a call-up right now in the test team. So he has to go through. He has to go through that process, carrying the water.
Frank, the man scoring runs every league he playing now. He just come from the under-19.
John?
That may be so, but the players who are in the team now, he has. Who are you going to work off? Who are you going to? Atenes is doing pretty well.
The Everton take on that.
Yes, definitely.
Well, you know, Abdel, I share a lot of the sentiments that you have, that, you know, he should learn some more. I know there's probably somebody out there listening tonight and saying that, hey, you're keeping on the youngster or whatever, but I feel he has some more to go. But I will also say, where I differ with Frank, this present West Indies team, I think I can play.
Gentlemen, we got to push on. Well, I think it's called an upset. Sri Lanka, they were down 2-0 and they came back quite convincingly and beat England. Ollie Pope got out of his slump, made a good 154 as a standing captain. And then Sri Lanka, again, they struggled a bit with the bat, 263, some half centuries from De Silva and Mendes. And then I think it's the second half is where, you know, they skittled out England for 156, the turn of the tide there. And then a beautiful century by Patham Nisankar, 127.
Not
there.
out.
Not out of 124 balls, so it was really in good time in there. So a good win there for Sri Lanka there at the back end there.
Yeah, that's good for the cricket. If I'm coaching, I want to win. But then, if you keep on winning, what good is the cricket? So when you get competition, when you get competition, I have to do better because I want to do better. But if I just sit on my laurel, say gonna come and win, they win the next one. But it's good for the cricket, you know. England now have to come back now and show their craft how they can.
I think England kind of not let their guard down, but took it for granted then that they're going to walk over Sri Lanka again. But they were in for a rude awakening there. You're following that one, Everton?
Yes, more, I mean, you know, I eat, sleep, breathe cricket. You know, I mean, you know, I'm a 24 cricket man. I was brought through the ranks. I mean, the reason why I'm here is because of people like Taddy. You know, I was always been around cricket, and most of my friends are because of cricket. You know, I spend a lot of time with cricket, and cricket has made me the individual that I am today. You know, so I love cricket. But yeah, that particular match, and series, I felt that England kind of felt that they will just walk over Sri Lanka and they get a thump in their face, so call it so. They'll have to go and come again.
Everton, if just permit me to ask you about you and your development in cricket, your coming through cricket. What teams you played for?
Frank, just give me a second. Everton, when we come back from the break, we'll get right into that. We're going to take a break. I also see we have another. Obviously, we have a policeman watching us. I don't know if he come to arrest us. I guess he coming on the mic too. But we're going to take a short break, and then we will come back. We'll get into a little bit of Everton, and then obviously we're going to then look at the contribution of Sherman Passion James on the cricketing cycle of Antigua and Barbuda. So let's take a short break, and be right back on Talking Sports.
Welcome back to Talking Sports. Thank you for staying with us. Don't forget you can contact us, call into our show. I dial in 776-2866 and be a part of our discussion. Before we went on the break, we were just going to get into Mr. Everton Mead. Everton. Correct, yes. Correct, Mead. And a little bio, but before we get into that, we've been joined by Mr. Francis, past cricketer. Is past correct? Past cricketer, policeman, not past policeman.
Not bowling.
Huh? Yeah. Yes. So welcome to the set, Mr. Francis, to join our discussion where we're going to be remembering Passion James. But Everton, to get back to you, just give us a little bio of yourself in terms of your cricket.
Well, if you introducing me, don't say past cricketer.
Okay.
I'm a present cricketer.
Okay, that's why you feel you can get back into the West Indies team.
Yes. You know, I came through the ranks. I started at Cap Square School.
Yes.
And I played in the Parish League. I played for English Harbour, and then we had a community team called Inley Camot.
Called what?
Inley Camot. It was English Harbour Cap Square farmer.
Okay.
So it's Inley Camot. And then I went on to John Hughes. Played for John Hughes a number of years. And then I came back home to Falmouth and built a dynasty with this gentleman here, Passion James.
Okay.
And I also went on after that and played for Liberta.
Okay. Great.
So, you know, and I had a stint with Antigua too. I played some games for Antigua too.
Oh, okay.
In the 90s, I had a few games.
Okay.
You know,
As a opener?
as an open batsman.
Okay.
Yes. Played a number of years to the combined Parish League with Mr. Arundel, toured to the Virgin Islands and.
Everton, sorry, I have to cut in here. You toured with Taddy?
Well, under his management or his
Look, give me, okay, I'm going to put you up on the spot. Give me a frank analysis of the Ayatollah, that's what they tell me.
Taddy, in my playing days, me and Taddy wasn't friends. Taddy was a very strict individual. I can tell you a little incident. We went to the Virgin Islands again. We were touring the Virgin Islands, and the team was a very good team. I had some good friends on the team. I had a particular individual from Villa, Donald Jarvis. He was a part of the team, and he was a fetter. I was a young guy, and 17 plus an imagination brass, and those bands were out, and we went out fetting. And I should say, get a little bit too over intoxicated. And I remember the management team tell me I'm not playing. I said, what do you mean you're not playing? Jarvis playing and not playing. And I bring home Jarvis. Well, Jarvis went and made 100. I didn't make anything. So they decided, no, they're going to take more steps and hold on to my traveling documents.
Oh. Let me ask you a question. You ever get goodish from Taddy?
No. Taddy was a very hard marker. Taddy marked hard. But let me tell you something. If looking back, I'll do it again. You know what I mean? Because what I got out of it and the knowledge, Taddy was excellent. Taddy was excellent. I can tell you that. Taddy was excellent. And high on discipline too. He, very high and disciplined the players. So, and very even-handed too. If Taddy and your friend don't feel you're going to come there and do as you like, you're going to get the same treatment as the person.
John seems very disappointed every time.
No, I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth, Taddy.
I know you're speaking the truth, but John
Taddy
didn't expect
was
that.
very, and a lot of these players that went down and played for the West Indies passed through Taddy fingers sometimes.
Definitely.
So Taddy was a good person for the cricket,
So you encountered Passion, if you can just segue to get into.
Before we get into Passion, let's just big up some of our viewing audience. Jennifer Hector is watching, Myron James all the way. I think Myron is in Texas, so let's say good afternoon. Ed Lewis, one of our ardent followers, saying good afternoon, guys. Just get a little closer to your mic there. Yeah. And he says his mic is low. Who else do we have here? Okay, Edgar, how are you, Lady Hearst? All right. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, so you mentioned your Passion James, you encountered him at Falmouth?
Well, I first met Passion on East Street.
Okay.
As a policeman, and I was driving going down. And how I encountered Passion started running the car in his uniform. Hey, you can't pass. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean we can't pass? He said, you see me tap you? I said, no. He said, me tap you. He said, come out. I said, no, come out. He said, what I mean, you come out, I can pull you out. I said, no. How you just pull me out? I said, me didn't see you. Anyway, another officer came and diffused the matter. And then, Passion had left the force. And he was looking for a team to play with. And I invited him to Falmouth. And he was part of the family there for a number of years. Even where most of the people know Passion from Heritage Sports, from John McGemley.
Okay.
I was the one that took him there.
Oh, okay.
I was the one that took him to meet John. So, yeah, I know Passion for quite a bit of years, We were quite close.
I didn't follow cricket and Parish League cricket that closely, but I remember hearing the name Passion James coming up regularly, making runs. I think he was a batsman.
He was an all-rounder.
An all-rounder.
Excellent one too.
Okay.
Excellent one. And Mr. Francis and Abdel can tell you, in his younger day, Passion can score 100 and get you 5 wickets, and can take you 5 catches too. Okay. He was an excellent cricketer. I think he was overpowered by his mouth. He had a
Could you repeat that statement, sir?
He was overpowered by his mouth. He was very strong
Opinionated.
You know what I mean? And had a strong voice too. And aggressive with it. But let me tell you something. If you get to know him, underneath, it was nothing to it. He was very a gentle individual. You know what I mean? Very jovial. You know, he was a nice person.
Okay, Mr. Francis, we could bring you in here. Your experiences with Passion.
My years with Passion is playing for the police cricket team for a number of years. And Passion was like a dream player in the team. He score often, he get a lot of wicket. And even me as captain, he just come and advise me and so on and things like that. And it was a real good thing playing with Passion.
Okay. And he was a team man, he would
He was a
encourage
team,
everybody.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm so sad when he had to leave the force because we really miss him then.
Okay.
Because we had a strong team. And not only he, we missed Ian go the same time with him. So, you know,
Okay.
it was a little blow, but we come back around and come back well.
Okay.
But Passion, he was a real good player, a real good team man.
Okay. Abdi?
Yeah, Passion. He called me Goose. You remember that, how I got that name? But he was always referred to me, hey Goose, he Jimmy Crab. Anybody that Passion ball is a Jimmy Crab. He can get them, right? But he is a very good all-rounder. Very good all-rounder, right? He talk you out of your game, and that's one of his power play. But he could go there, make runs, get wicket, take catches, as Everton say, and he really contribute to any team that he was playing with, you know. But I had some good memories in the middle, but we had some outside memories also, and I also had that when Passion used to set chap to catch foul. What? Listen, Passion, he's a jovial individual.
Okay.
You remember say?
Of course.
And we down Falmouth, the clubhouse, and we used to cook down and stuff like that. I remember one time I was passing and he said, hey, Goose, the pass it. I said, what happened? He said, boy, make it a fall. He jack with the fall. In a split of a second, Passion the dry hand like you catch fish and the fall foot in that. So he come and he cut the neck there and he start trip and he cook right there. You know, Passion is unfortunately, you know, you have to leave us in a sad way, but it was good memories. Good memories all the time. You know?
So as a team man then?
Yeah, good team man.
Okay.
Good team man. He used to tell me, if say it one more time in the movie belly, you have to come home, man. Because say the left nothing and turn. You understand? But then he call him Danimich.
Okay.
That's his nickname too. Say Everton Mead or Danimich. So but Passion referred to him as Danimich. Said Danimich is easy, but I'm a boy that. Okay. You know?
I was very strict though with them. I mean, you know, and we had a good team, and we had some very strong opinionated players, and we had, you know, in every team you had a little riffle. So somebody had was to stand up. What I can say to you now, and you might find it surprising that John and Passion didn't get along first in the team.
John
McGinley.
McGinley. Oh yeah, he used to play for Falmouth.
Yes. But they, you know, Passion said, "Boy, having a white man, boy, white man, can't play boy." And he and John used to never like that sentiment. You know what I mean? With him, but like I said, Passion never really meant anything. That's just how he was. And at first, John thought that, hey, I didn't like it. But after he ended up working for John for a number of years. And I'm going to tell you something that Abdi said Passion was a very good team. And he was, but he had, I can remember Passion used to come and tell me that he wished man out He tell me for years he play, he can't get a batting. Because Palmer sometimes 3 or 4 man, hey boy, 2 years now, we ain't batting. 2 years. And Passion used to pad up.
Yeah, I say it was so strong.
Yeah, the team was a good team. Team was a good team. You know, when he passionate batter 6, he pad up with the up bat. And if somebody out, you run out. Yeah. You know, he was like that. He was like that. So, he was a good guy. He was a good guy. He was a good guy. I had fond memories with him.
I also remember one time he almost I almost killed Battery. Battery from Newfield.
Yeah. Newfield,
Yeah. The ball Battery, 2 ball, and he just come down with it, bam, 4-1 extra cover. And when I was going back to my bowling mark, Eggy, you make the man knock his on, knock down the man.
Yeah, that's it.
And the very next ball, Battery nose inside the face. He was on the ground for a long while. I think he have to went to overseas and so to
I hope it's not beam me, no.
No, it's a bouncer. Yeah, I said, Passion, you see what me do? I said, where do you say we? You know, he's that kind of fella.
Okay.
But guys, you know, you spoke about his mouth, you know, because from knowing Passion, always just hear him before you see him.
From a long way.
Would you say that attitude, how did that affect the team? The team? Eggy I don't know if he was like that during your...
He was like that, but
He
he
was
don't
always.
affect the team in no way. Passion was a jovial fella, and he assists in any way to make the team better.
Yeah, that behavior doesn't really affect
yeah.
the team.
No, don't affect the
because
team
he
at all.
contribute. Let's say he weren't contributing. Now you're talking. Probably, you know,
Yeah.
you will get to
Yes.
me or you, whatever the case is. But he contributes. So, you know.
Yes, and you know, at that time at Falmouth too, we had a good setup. I don't know if you know Mr. Javier Francis.
No, I don't.
He was management at Leat once.
Oh, yes. He
was the manager of our club. We had another guy by the name of Calvin Timothy. We call him Paso. He was a manager at Galley Bay. We had a good structure. We had Ivor Jackson. You know, we had a good structure. So, Passion thing, like Abdel said, was more jovial. He was nothing serious. He was nothing out of hand. He was just, that's how he expressed himself. That's how he expressed himself.
Do you think he took cricket serious, or he just a hobby for him? Hobby might be a strong word. You think he really took it serious and had aspirations to go on?
I felt when he was younger, and stuff, he had really into it. But like anybody else, you know, after you get of age and, you know, you're just going through the motion. And then, like Mr. Francis said, and I said earlier, you know, he was a part of the police force, and then he lost his job, and he was out of the force. So I think life and surviving was more
his priority
than, you know, playing cricket and running around, and, you know.
All that is true with what Everton meets it. But I think he takes the cricket serious. There's a lot of us who took the cricket serious, but there were so many that just have that extra foot ahead of many. So everybody couldn't go on, you understand? But
Yes.
the level of cricket was good. You understand? So
Very, very good.
very
I mean,
good. Yeah.
even like I said to Mr. Arundel earlier, I think that there's a few players on the West Indies team who made the Parish League team in the 80s.
But it's true.
I mean, our level of cricket in the 80s were very, very strong.
They
We
don't
had
stand up
people,
against us.
we had people like Vlanville Harrigan, so used to come to Antigua to play Thursday League, just to play Thursday
Just to
League.
play Thursday
You know what I
League.
mean? You know what I mean? So we had a very, very strong Mr. Arundel and
Hey, who's Mr. Arundel? Taddy.
Taddy Arundel and Fitzroy Brand had put on a competition one time called what's it called? I can't remember the name, but something like a Super Cup at the excuse me? Semi-pro at Factory. I mean, I went through a part of that, so knowing that and see what I see now, man, I tell you, we have retrogressed a long way. Retrogressed a long way.
Just coming back to Passion, but I remember I was playing Masters cricket maybe 10, 20, 12 years ago
Yeah.
with Masters, and T Willie was there, and T Willie said, I want to play test cricket, you know. So I laughed, you know. So he said, "You're laughing?" He said, "Look at the level of cricket we played." And it's only when I come back home, I'm hearing what he said. I said, but T really right, you know, the standard we took for granted, the standard of cricket we were playing. And so he came up with that. But I remember one year police came Falmouth. You remember Pasham had a bat that he called Saddam?
Yes.
The Grey Nichols. Listen, that year, right, Pasham make some runs.
Yeah, tremendous.
Oh, I can't remember the year. But when Eggy were bowling, the first, before he bowled, Eggy set him on a long on. All right? And that's type of passion. And so Eggy said, go ahead man, hit down there. So I need to play down there for a single. Because you know, well, okay, if you miss hit, he out. And that takes me back to my coaching, because these are the things that I pick up and carry into my coaching strategy. Now that Grey Nichols used to hit the Kihuebi. They play the longer mid-off and mid-on. Pash, I'm going with you. So hit it, setting the man there, you know, all you have to play for single. And I remember that vividly. Remember that? Yeah. And I said, when he came out, I said, oh wait, what the Saddam? He said, Saddam? I mean, what forward? I must be one better. You know, so those things that really stood out.
Yeah.
And he was smart enough to realize that there was a chop set.
Yes.
And he don't want to, because all the chat he have for go work and tell people make runs, he won't continue that. So
But Passion James was a clever cricketer, because I remember him playing for the Police, and he was considered to be a fast bowler then, because he was bowling quite quick, and then in the latter part of his years he bowled medium pace, but very clever, very, very clever. You know, I mean, he understood what he wanted was to do, and he did it, you know, I mean, in his way. And yeah, Passion was a good cricketer. Passion was a good cricketer.
Kelly Roberts is saying good afternoon. Ed Lewis is saying the first time I met him is in over 45 game playing Antigua. He said I wasn't. I guess Passion was saying Ed wasn't over 45. I also bowled him down in the game because he promised to beat up my ball. Well, we know that's Passion. He's
that's
always
Passion,
Passion emote give the power.
Yeah, plenty.
feed off of that. Eggy, we spoke about him being a policeman. What was it like now from a, how should I say, a professional perspective? I don't know what your experience was working along with him in the police force. What type of, you know, what did he bring to the force? You know, what was his character like there?
We work in two different departments really. He does work in traffic.
Okay.
And I can tell you he was a good traffic man.
Well,
He know his own there, yeah. He was a good traffic man. It was sad when, you know, he really get in the problem that he had to leave, but yeah, I think he would have made it a lot higher in the force if he had stayed on. He know his work.
Okay.
So we have to ask Everton though, why was he pulling you over?
Well, he said he was stopping. I didn't
why? Or just stopping you?
Yeah, just stopping me.
okay.
He thought I think he was directly traffic. He said, and nobody should have come down the street at that particular time. But I didn't see the signal like he was stopping me. I didn't really mean to disobey him or anything. I didn't really saw it, and he was that kind of individual that, you know, he would make you know where he feel about it. So he was like that, you know.
It sounds as if he would, on the cricket field, use his mouth to try and psych out people. Then.
A lot.
That's
a lot. That's
a lot.
Yeah,
That's
A lot. Even before the game start, when you turn up to the ground, Passion will try to intimidate you right from there.
Yeah, intimidate.
You know, right there.
Somebody spoke about the structure of the team, and I kind of fast forward to today's setting, and that is one of the missing components in not only cricket but in most of our sports. We even go back to one of the not tragedy but, you know, unfortunate issue, the Athletic Association, with the players not getting the opportunity to go to Peru because of some administrative function. I am saying the clubs that are part of this athletic association, because they're not structured properly, then there's no level of accountability being passed on. And what we're seeing with a lot of these clubs and teams around Antigua and Barbuda, because of lack of structure, you don't see that performance, that discipline that you would definitely say you would have gotten 20, 30 years ago. How can we get back these club structures? Because we need to get structures and not one person pulling that weight. And I think that's where we're falling down a lot in our sporting disciplines. And of course, you can start with that.
To be honest, that gonna be difficult. This time in our life, people are not serious. They don't want. First, it's voluntary. Secretary, president, you may not have the dedicated ones who are required to be there to get the work done the way it ought to be done. So then they get somebody else who are lesser passionate, lesser, not really in tune with it, but they were just being there for being their sake. Then the work is not being done properly, because then they start telling you, well, me not get paid now. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Then so with that now, it behooves those executives to make certain you have paid playing members. And because now they are not that serious, because they think they're not getting paid, they don't bear down the bearing on the players or the athletes, whoever it is, to be playing members. So now with that now, they just seek to have players not being paid.
Yes.
So the game now has been played with the loyalty from the players to the club. So you don't have that. For instance, when we were growing up, and this comes with loyalty, we have to roll a wicket. You know that?
Yeah, of course.
So when we roll a wicket, we have that commitment and loyalty to the team. And now, for instance, we say, nobody get me on this wicket here. Because me spend me hard time on this wicket. That's a form of loyalty to this. So with the club now, there's nobody being paying, but me pay there for you company to come and play. You can live any time. So the club will have there's no foundation, so fragmentation occur over a period of time.
But
in those days, we used to love cricket.
Mm-hmm.
Every village you go, you find 2, 3, 4 cricket pitch,
Mm-hmm.
and every day man playing cricket.
Farmer
here
cricket.
and everywhere. It was completely different to now. You don't see the love of cricket now like before.
No.
Because I can tell you, even me, I think I was overruled many times because of the way how I perform in cricket. There are 3 times in this country I get most wicket and best bowling average, and
when
I never
you
even
say
play
overlooked,
trial.
you mean overlooked? to make
Overlook all the
national
time.
team.
Yeah. I went England, World Police Tournament, and we were playing against Barbados. And we have a tie game. We went in the soup over. I was the captain. Then I went on toss. We win the toss. We batted first, and we made 7. And I took the ball and bowled a maiden soup over.
Wow.
When I was coming off the field, he scalded them. Hey, here he comes, Sir Gary call you.
Sir Gary?
Yeah. When I went, he looked at me and said, they have a bowler like you in Antigua for the bowling Leeward Island have. Something wrong, you born the wrong place, you should have born a Barbados.
I was going to ask you, where you're from, the country or the town? Because in them
I
time,
was from Patters. I'm from Patters.
where should I get played?
I'm from Patters.
Shall you overlook you? I'll
while-
look into that.
While he was talking there, I see a white man coming past, and so I look for me and tell me sign that. The next 2 weeks I'm in South Africa.
Sorry, it is not by chance why Liberta is so dominant right now, because they have a good structure. Kenneth has done well. I'm not here to advertise for nobody, but I have to say that he has done well. He has a good program, and he's a very, people say everybody have the ways. let's you know, but he has a good program, and he wants you to follow his program if you want to be a part of his thing, and he has done well. He has done well, and Liberta is, you know, when Falmouth was one of the dominant team also, that's you know, we had a good program. We had good people. We had, like I said, Jeremy Francis, Mr. Ivor Jackson, Mr. Carlwyn Timothy. We had the whole community backing us. I can remember one time we went to go play finals, and before we left home, Bailey Supermarkets told us, listen, we got the champagne and ice. We have it. Don't worry. Just go and come back. And that time, I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate, Mr. Francis was on the losing side. And they brought in two brothers from Barbados for the finals. The Proverbs brothers, Stanton and Amit